Hi children, this is Sudhir Kumar. Today we are a new topic, toroid, moving charges and magnetism. In the chapter, toroid is one part. In the previous lecture, I have already discussed about the solenoid. Today we are discussing about the toroid. They are both almost the same formulas you will be using here. What did I discuss? This is a solenoid. This is the length of the solenoid is much greater than radius, which is known as an ideal solenoid. And what are the conditions for ideal solenoid? N must be large. N, number of turns per unit length, must be large. The length is large compared to the radius. And magnetic field outside the solenoid is zero. Here in this region, outside means here it is zero. There is only a magnetic field present inside the solenoid, and that too it will have a uniform magnetic field existing inside the solenoid. A uniform magnetic field is existing inside the solenoid, which is known as ideal solenoid. These are the conditions. A uniform magnetic field inside the core of the solenoid. Outside the solenoid, magnetic field is zero. Length is large compared to the radius, and number of turns per unit length is large. This is called an ideal solenoid. Now this solenoid is bent like this and joined. These two ends are joined like this. This is called toroid. That's it. Now, a toroid is nothing but circular solenoid. I'm giving name like that. Circular solenoid. A solenoid made in the form of circle is called toroid. So we are taking ideal solenoid only. So this is ideal toroid only now. This is ideal toroid. That is only we are discussing. Very, very important. Okay. You remember the magnetic field inside this solenoid is mu naught Ni, where N is number of turns per unit length. You can substitute N if you want there. No problem. That means B is equal to mu naught into N by L into I also. So this is already discussed about this solenoid. Now because you are bending this ideal solenoid into a toroid, this field will not change. This formula will not change. No. So what is the field inside the core of the toroid? Means this. No change. At least this length L can be taken as a circumference. That is the only small change I can make here. So this length of the solenoid after making into toroid can be written as 2 pi r, where r is the radius. Radius of the toroid. There are two radii. Be careful. One is the radius of the coil. Small r I will write that. Other is radius of the toroid. That is capital R I am writing. So this length can be replaced by 2 pi r. Now the magnetic field will be equal to mu naught Ni by 2 pi r. That's all. So same formulas, only length is replaced by 2 pi r. So therefore, if somebody asks you, what is the magnetic field in this region? 0. Because we have taken 0 here. What is the magnetic field outside the toroid? 0. Because already I told you. What is the magnetic field inside the core of the toroid? Mu naught Ni, where N is this. Or L can be written as 2 pi r. So your answer is over. Discussion is over. Toroid. That's all. At maximum, what you will do extra? See, he may give total number of turns, then put it here. And then he has to give this radius. Current. Then you will find magnetic field. Magnetic field you will find here and here. Here it is 0, here it is 0. Already I told no. Outside the solenoid is 0 means here and here it will be 0. Only on inside the core of the toroid we are finding this field. He will ask you to find the field here only. If he is asking to find the field here, you put 0 answer. No need of finding. Here also outside it is 0. Then you will use this formula. N is number of turns per unit length. He will give you. Substitute there. Capital N if he gives means total number of turns he will give. Then this length he will give. Or this radius he will give. This length can be written as 2 pi r. Sufficient data will be given. You can determine the magnetic field now. At maximum, see what he will do. If you want to make any changes, he will put some material inside this. You have a free space inside, am I right? Now we will put some material. If you put some material, this formula will change. This formula, whatever it is. So what is that formula becomes now? See, suppose if I take this one, the magnetic field will be equal to mu into Ni, I should write. Where mu is the permeability of the material that you have chosen. Or this formula becomes same. Mu naught Ni by, so mu naught will be replaced by mu, okay? 2 pi r, no change. But mu has to give the permeability of the material in the core of the solenoid. Generally, he sometimes he gives relative permeability. Relative permeability is permeability divided by permeability of a free space. Then relative permeability, and using this equation, mu is equal to relative permeability into mu naught. So therefore, this mu can be replaced by this. Why? Because in the problems, he will not give mu. He will give mu r. And mu naught value you know already. 4 pi into 10 to the power of minus 7. And permeability of this material inside the core he will give you. Then if you substitute this, then you get the answer. So then what happens to that formula in case if you have, I'll write over here, okay? This B is equal to, this mu is written as mu r into mu naught. I'll call it as B dash, Amma. Shall I call B dash when material is there inside? This is mu r into mu naught into Ni. Observe the difference between these two, Amma. When you have a free space here, this is the formula inside the core of the toroid. When some material is filled here, this is the formula to find the magnetic field inside the core of the toroid. Observe the difference. I can substitute this here if you want. Then B dash is equal to this B into, this becomes B, Amma. So this B into mu r. So the magnetic field will be increased mu r times. That's all about the toroid. But there is a still discussion about the toroid. Nothing new points, but proofs. This formula will prove again. You said that field here is 0, no? You'll prove it again. You said that field here is 0, no? You'll prove it again. This proof you want if you listen. Otherwise, these are the formulas only for solving the problems. But important because we are applying Ampere circuit law. Okay. So when I take further, I want to prove these formulas and fields here 0 and field inside the core, these formulas I want to prove. I will be using Ampere's circuit law. What is Ampere's circuit law? Just recollect. Then only you can do this. For an Ampere circuit law, what you will do? There will be a current carrying conductor. This current is coming outward. There will be a magnetic field in this region. Suppose here is a magnetic field. Here the magnetic field is B. Take one loop passing through this point B. Take an element dl here, dl. Let this current is I. Then I write integral, closed integral b bar dot dl is equal to mu naught times the current inside. Okay, right. So here is a current carrying conductor. So what is the current inside means I. This is current inside, amma. Inside the loop, what is the current? I, mu naught. What is this integral b dot dl here? See, here is a magnetic field B. There I have taken one loop. This loop is called Ampere's loop. Then I am taken an elemental length dl here. Let this is a direction here, tangential to the loop. Always it will be taken tangential to the loop. So then this is integral b dot dl means you take one more here, b and dl, b and dl, b and dl, b and dl, b dot dl, b dot dl, b dot dl, b dot dl. Summing up of all these b dot dls over the closed curve is called integral b dot dl is equal to mu naught times I. So this formula I am applying now. So first, what I will do in this toroid now? Already formulas are over. Again I am proving. I will prove the magnetic field here is 0. First. Next, magnetic field here also 0. Second. Magnetic field inside the core is mu naught and I. Just now I have written formulas. Same I will prove. But I will prove by using what? Ampere circuit law. These are the three I am going to do now. If you are interested, you continue. This proof they won't ask in competitive exams. No, that is why I am telling you. Problems they will ask. So, already I gave you the formulas. So, let me consider wherever you want to find a magnetic field. Suppose here I want to find the magnetic field. Suppose. There I want to find the magnetic field. Then through that point you imagine one loop like this. This is a loop. Let the magnetic field at this point is B, where you want to determine. Consider an element there, dl. Right? Apply Ampere's circuit law now. Same law. So, what I do? Integral, closed integral, B into dl is equal to mu naught times the current inside. Current inside the loop only. Inside this loop, what is the current? There is no current inside the loop. So, this is mu naught times 0. Why 0? Because I told current inside the loop. So, current inside the loop, outside there is a lot of currents. But inside the loop there is no current. So, that is why that value I kept 0. So, the magnetic field at this point into dl, integral of that is equal to mu naught times the current inside. So, of course, when right hand side becomes 0, then B also becomes 0. B integral B dot dl is 0 anyhow. Integral B dot dl B means B into 2 pi r is equal to 0. Okay. Then B is also 0. So there is no magnetic field inside the inner part of this, inner space of this toroid. So proof 1 is over. Now I will prove here there is no magnetic field. Let me prove that also. So what I do now? Before going to that, again I have to discuss one point regarding Ampere circuit law. See that. I am taking two currents now. One is current I1, outward current, I2, inward current. The current is outward. There is a wire in which the current is flowing outward. There is another wire, current is flowing inward. So you have two wires. You have two wires. In one wire, current is outward. In one wire, current is inward. So there will be a magnetic field in this region now. Definitely. Select one point here. Let the magnetic field is B at this point. Now through that point you will be taking an Ampere's loop. I have taken. Fine. Consider an elemental length dl over here. dl. Right? Fine. When you have two currents, one current is outward and one current is inward, so one will become plus and one will become minus. That is only purely convention, which is plus and which is minus. So what I do, Now, how to apply ampere circuit law means I will give some direction to this loop. You give anti-clockwise direction or clockwise direction, no problem. So I want to give anti-clockwise direction. So for the loop I am giving direction. Fine. Then if this is the direction of the loop that you have given, then thumb indicates the positive current. Then other current will become negative because it is opposite. So I will take I1 plus I2 minus. So giving direction to the loop, you can give as you like. Any direction you will give. You give clock or anti-clock, no problem. But appears when you have more than one current only this possibilities comes. When you have only one current, in previous case directly have written. When you have more than one currents only, that two different directions if you are having, only this problem of plus and minus will arise. Remember that. So if I am giving this as a positive direction, then this current will be positive. Then opposite will be negative. You can take an opposite also, no problem. Now, integral B dot dl is mu naught times current inside. So now dl bar also in the same direction. B bar will be tangential. B bar will be tangential here. You know that. You will be applying this rule. What is current inside? Mu naught. Sum of these two currents. Okay, this is I1 minus I2. That's all. This is ampere circuit law. Why did I apply this? Because I have more than one current. I am explaining this. Now coming here. I wanted to find, I will erase this now. This is just I explained you how to apply ampere circuit law when you have more than one currents. Now, I would like to find the magnetic field at this point due to this toroid, outside space. So if you want to find a magnetic field here, let the magnetic field is B. Then take 1 ampere's loop here, 1 ampere's loop over here. This is ampere's loop. Consider an element here, dl. You take dl here. Okay? Fine. Currents. Ampere circuit law I want to apply. That's why. So here I want to find a magnetic field. So integral B dot dl is mu naught times the current inside. Fine. B dot dl. So there are so many currents inside, you see. There are so many currents. So how to take this now? Current inside is writing very simple. So first let me give a direction to the loop now. You want to give this direction or this direction? Which is suitable to? Okay, it is free for me to use like this. Okay, like this I'll give. I'll give this as a direction of a loop. Any direction you give, Amma. If this is a direction of loop, then inward current becomes a positive now. You can take anyway, no problem. Inward current is positive means outward current will be negative. So this is a toroid on which the wire is winded like this. You know, when a wire, the current comes like this and goes inside. Current comes out like this and goes inside. Current comes out like this, goes inside. Current comes out like this, goes inside. So you have an outward current here and inward current here. Outward current here and inward current here. Outward current here, inward current here. Current flows like this. So I can take this one outward, right? Outward, inward, outward, inward, outward, inward, out, in, outward, inward, outward, inward. So many currents are there. All that currents I will take now. Of course, each current is I. So I have given this direction now. Very good. So this is integral B dot dl is equal to, what is the meaning of this integral B dot dl? B dot dl plus B dot dl plus B dot dl plus B dot dl plus B dot dl, etc. Summing up of all this called integral B dot dl. And this is a direction of dl bar, and magnetic field also will be in the same direction. The angle between B bar and dl bar will be 0 here. That is equal to mu naught times the current inside. So you have decided inward current as positive. Am I right? And outward current as negative. So how many are there? See, this is outward current. I plus 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 I plus. Let it be capital N times. There are capital N turns, then outward currents will be N times. So outward current is negative, am I right? See, this is a loop. Inward current is positive, outward current is negative. So this is N times I, but with a minus sign. Next, this currents also I have to take. This current is inward. Inward is positive. How many times? N times. Plus N into I. This is minus. Somebody asked me, sir, you have taken outward current and you have taken inward current. What about this current, sir? What about this? So that will be perpendicular. Suppose if I take this element, this will be perpendicular to this. B dot dl means it will become 0. B bar dot dl bar is equal to B into dl into cos 90 I should take. So I will take only outward and inward currents only I will take like this. I will not take this current because that component will anyhow dot product will become 0. So what happens now? This is cancelling. So this is becoming 0. So this is B into integral dl is 0. If something is 0, B has to be taken 0. Therefore the magnetic field outside this solenoid is also become 0. Sorry, toroid. So I proved the magnetic field outside the toroid is 0. And I also proved magnetic field inside the toroid also 0. Now magnetic field inside the core of the toroid I have to prove now. Same law I'll apply. Right. I will take, let us say, I want to determine a magnetic field at this point inside the core of the toroid. Then let the magnetic field at that point is B. Right? Then I will be taking 1 Ampere's loop. Same story I am repeating. This is green color one is Ampere's loop. And I will take one element dl. So integral B dot dl bars over a closed loop. That is called integration. So B dot dl here, B dot dl here, B dot dl here, B dot dl here, B dot dl here. Adding up of all that B dot dl's on the Ampere's loop is called integral B dot dl. It is known as the circulation of magnetic field over the curve, which is equal to mu naught times the current inside the loop. All currents are inward. So all I will take positive only because already I told the loop direction I will give this. If this is a loop direction, inward currents are positive. If all currents are having only one direction, no need of giving positive negative also. If they have two directions, one is inside and one is outward only, the question of positive and negative will come. So therefore this is equal to, how many are there? I plus I plus I plus I plus I plus n times. So n times I. I will not take these currents because I want the current inside the loop only. This means this is a loop I have taken. These are the currents inside the loop. These currents outside the loop I won't take. So this is equal to, because this is a symmetrical loop, everywhere B is constant. Amma. So B is taken out of integration. Yes. What is integral dl? dl plus 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 dl. So circumference of this circular loop. Circumference of that circular loop. What is B here now? B is equal to mu naught Ni by 2 pi r. That's all. This is written as n divided by length of the loop. then that becomes mu naught Ni. Capital N, small n is what? Capital N divided by length. What is the length of that loop, Andi? 2 pi r. So this will be the small n value. So if I eliminate this capital N by 2 pi r as small n, then I get this. Same formulas I told you previously in the beginning. So same formulas I proved it now. So this is only for proof, this last part. So field over this region is 0. Field over this region is 0. Field inside this core of the toroid is this. N is number of turns per unit length. R is the radius of the toroid, amma. This radius of the toroid. N is total number of turns. Right? So only problem is that you may have doubt that, sir, what is this? You can take R1, if this is R1 and this becomes R2. So you are taking only R. Which is correct? Should I take R1? Should I take R2? Or R? I told in the beginning only this is ideal solenoid. For an ideal solenoid, the thickness will be small compared to the length. So this thickness will be small. This thickness will be small. So R1 and R2 and R equal only now. R1 and R2 R, all are equal. Because this thickness is small. This is an ideal toroid. So that is the case here. So this is about the toroid. Thank you.